Hello friends, this is Worm, and we just got a Crucible update that's going to be coming with Heresy, and there's a lot of stuff to unpack here. Now, I'm not going to read this word for word, I've actually read it all. I'm just going to go over some of the biggest points of changes that are coming with Heresy, because we got a lot of Crucible changes coming up. Things like Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, matchmaking, like there's just all kinds of stuff in here. So let's go ahead and start with the Trials changes. The primary Trials changes that I want to talk about first are the passages. Okay, there's now 3 different passages. You've got Lighthouse Passage, which is right here. You've got the completed Lighthouse Passage, and then you have the Flawless Passage. And basically, the premise of having this is to help players feel more rewarded for playing the game. Historically, Bungie has said that Trials of Osiris has a very low population base. In fact, somewhere in here, I think they said over the past 48 months, which means over the past 4 years, Trials has never been above like a 20% player rate, which is crazy. I actually didn't know it was that bad. But with these different passages, like you're going to get a different kind of tier of reward. They're moving away from having the rewards be like only for the high end. You know, a lot of people don't play Trials of Osiris because the rewards just aren't really worth it. Like if you want the adept rewards, which were the top tier, top of the line, you have to go flawless. They want to do away with that. They want to allow players to get flawless weapons. They want to emphasize playing the game on a 7-win card and getting win streaks while on that card. Now, of course, there will still be some stuff for flawless, but I think that the way that they're streamlining a lot of this is very, very simple. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it more straightforward to how you're going to get your rewards. They do list the rewards right in here. I'm not gonna go over all of these rewards, but it talks about each win, your win streak will have a certain chance at getting, a variety of rewards, as well as, of course, your 7-win streak, then your completed passage, and then of course your flawless passage, Trials of Osiris passage. Like they're simplifying and they're making better the rewards that you can expect to be getting from Trials of Osiris, which, let's be honest, I think that's much needed. I think that currently the state of Trials of Osiris is not really that great. As many of you know, I don't play a lot of Trials of Osiris, but it's not so much because I don't like, it's not rewarding to me. I don't play Trials because I don't like the 3v3 game mode, but they're making some changes to Trials of Osiris that might actually give me a desire to go in and play there. So they're making all these changes to rewards and stuff, which is really, really nice. Just some important stuff. They're also changing the way reputation works so that your reputation that you're earning is like more streamlined. In fact, actually down here it tells you about how much rewards you're going to be getting for winning, your chances, or how much reward you're going to be getting for losing, and so on and so forth. Also along the lines of Trials, we do have 3 new Trials armor sets. So here's the Hunters right here. Here is the Warlocks, and then here is the Titans. And as you see, that Warlock has a new pulse rifle. We're going to talk about that one in just a second. But they're also adding some new cosmetics here. Basically, the way that they're changing the cosmetics is if you want ships and sparrows, you're still going to have to be really playing and getting those high win streaks. Like they're not exclusive to going flawless anymore, but you have to be a really good player to get those. However, the ghost shells and some of the emblems and stuff like that are on a point system. Basically 1,000 points total. You get X number of points for doing certain things, like winning just a base game of Trials on a base passage is like 60 points towards this 1,000 point pool. And then once you hit that 1,000 points, you will randomly be given one of the rewards, one of the ghost shells, and stuff like that. New weapons for Trials. Next season, we're going to be getting a solar sniper. Of course, I want to talk about this one called the Keen Thistle. In the left column, it's got Snapshot, Lone Wolf, Under Pressure, Incandescent, Envious Arsenal, Slick Draw, and Triple Tap. In the right column, it has got Opening Shot, Closing Time, Discord, Bait and Switch, Moving Target, Warp Weapon, and 4 times the Charm. Of course, with the Origin traits, Trials, Crucible, and Hack A. Okay, sure. I mean, I guess we needed another solar aggressive frame. Don't think we've had one in a while. We're also getting Exalted Truth back, and this is actually pretty exciting because some of the perks here look good. Slide Shot, Lone Wolf, Destabilizing Rounds, Moving Target, Zen Moment, Keep Away, Withering Gaze. In that left column, the right column will have Eye of the Storm, Opening Shot, Precision Instrument, Magnificent Howl. Really cool because this is the only other hand cannon besides Luna's Howl. currently can get. Magnificent Howl. A redacted perks. We're going to be getting new perks. We already knew that. One for all, Repulsor Brace. And then, of course, we have Trials, Crucible, and Suros origin traits. So it's nice we're getting that back. We're also going to be getting the Inquisitor later on in the episode, so not whenever it first comes, so probably like Act 2, maybe Act 3. It's going to be the Inquisitor. We're getting it back. In the left column, it will have Envious Assassin, Lone Wolf, Offhand Strike, Loose Change, Perpetual Motion, Slide Shot, Threat Detector. In the right column, it'll have Bait and Switch, Closing Time, Cascade Points, Fragile Focus, Jolting Feedback, Opening Shot, Precision Instrument, and of course it'll also be Trials, Crucible, and Suros for its origin traits. They've also changed some of the pinnacle challenges, and here's the reputation numbers. Again, I'm not going to go over all of this stuff like this. Yeah, we don't need to talk about all that. But they are changing some of the things to Dominion. This is what I was mentioning earlier when I said it might get me to play Trials of Osiris. They are now changing it so that the zone spawns after 40 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So it's almost, they're encouraging more of a elimination style gameplay, kill the other team before it spawns. They increased the time to capture the zone. It's up from 15 seconds now to 20 seconds. And then the neutral special ammo crate spawns at 30 seconds instead of 20 seconds. So again, they're really trying to push players into using their primary more, going for that elimination as opposed to just sitting on the zone. That's historically been a major issue with Trials is, you'll get Bubble Titans or Radiance Warlocks. They'll just kind of sit around and put their bubble or whatever on the zone. Now it's increasing with them increasing the time, it's going to be a little bit easier to work around those, considering a well and a bubble only lasts 30 seconds. They're going to have to, if you want to do that route, you're going to have to play a little bit more carefully. But yeah. Also, fire team based matchmaking. They're changing some of the things with fire team based matchmaking. Basically, they said that whenever you're playing on like duos, or I'm sorry, whenever freelance was an event, Trials freelance, which is Trials, just everybody's a solo player. There's no, there's no duos, there's no trios. The number of players jumped up real high, and then after that it ended. But also the non freelance mode, is the regular mode, it could be almost impossible for duos to find a team, and so it just increased the times and stuff like that. So they've done away with freelance, of course, but they're also changing matchmaking so that now it should be more streamlined in terms of putting a team together. Now, of course, if you are a solo player, you're more likely to be put with a duo, or not more likely, but you'll be put with duos. In trios. They're really encouraging playing as a trios, and that was something I actually forgot to mention earlier. Your rewards are going to be increased if you're playing as a team of 3, which is, I guess that's pretty good for Trials, because Trials is a team-based game. Skill rework and player score stats. Basically, they're trying to change how player score is calculated. Of course, your player score is like your hidden score that Bungie has for you. So I might be at a, I don't know, 500 score, and my wife might be at a negative 500 score, something like that. I don't really know. But they're making it so that it's less about kills and more about playing the game as you should be. So if you're playing Control, and you're contributing by capping flags, and you're contributing by killing enemies that are capping flags, and defending flags, stuff like that, your score is going to be jumping up more and more, where previously objectives, like objective based things in a game mode, didn't count at all for score. So I do think that there's going to be a lot of people whose score is going to start going up substantially, because there are a lot of players that aren't necessarily slayers, but they're really good at controlling the objective. My wife is one of those. She's like, her skill average, but her ability to lock down and control a zone, and her mindset around how to control zones, very good. So I suspect her score is going to jump up tremendously. But that's what they're changing with the skill rework and player score set. You'll also be able to kind of see, let's scroll down here. Yeah, your player score. This is the number, the number that you see right here is specifically like how many points you're going up. It's going to be negative 1,000 all the way up to 1,000. But that's kind of your like player score. That's where you're going to fall in terms of matchmaking. And then if you have multiple people in a fire team, it's going to average out y'all's score. So for example, my wife and my scores, if she's like, let's say 200 and I'm like 700, it's going to average those, put us in like 500 something, or like 450, somewhere in there. Let's see here. Okay, so they're also making changes to competitive playlist, to the score that you're getting, plus some other things as well. But in terms of how much like actual rank you're gaining per win and per kill, basically they said it's been way too confusing. Even with the recent changes where they made it supposed to be less confusing, it's still kind of confusing. So they're making it now basically win more games than you lose and your rank will go up. And so that's what they're talking about here. They have a bunch of, you know, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Oh, blah 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 blah. But keep in mind, if you're going to play in competitive, as long as you win more games than you lose, if you play 10 games and you win 6 games and lose 4 games, your rank is going to be going up, which I think makes the most sense to me. So now, even if you are a very casual player, as long as you can bust out a win more than you lose, you'll be able to go up in rank. Oh, why did that happen? Okay, here we go. Competitive rewards. Here's next episode's competitive reward. It's the second ever PR55 pulse rifle frame. So basically, think the Battler. It's a stasis version of the Battler. It comes with Encore, Lone Wolf, Perpetual Motion, Zen Moment, Offhand Strike, Rhymestoner, Demolitionist. In the left column, in the right column, it has Desperate Measures, Sword Logic, Desperado, Head Seeker, Rapid Hit, Kill Clip, Headstone. And then it has a new origin trait called Stocks. Not sure what that is, and it's not explained at all in here. It's the only weapon I've seen with this new origin trait, but that's pretty neat. I would also presume it would come with a Crucible a Crucible origin trait, but no. They do talk about some new emblems. They're increasing the rank cap from 10,000 up to 15,000, and the players who climb up to that, basically 10,000 to 15,000, because they want to add an Ascendant rank 0, and while you're playing in the Ascendant rank 0, you're earning progress towards getting this new emblem right here, which looks insanely good, I'm not gonna lie. They also have changed some stuff, some quality of life stuff for the competitive playlist. New logic in collision game modes will prevent the next zone from spawning too near the active zone. That was one of the biggest issues, is like you'd have a zone spawn and the enemy control, or your team would control it, and then the next zone would spawn like 10 meters away, which was kind of ridiculous. So now hopefully they'll be further apart. Contesting a zone will now flip it neutral so that neither team gains points. Currently, if you're holding the flag and the enemy comes and contests it, you still gain points until they actually neutralize it and make it theirs. Now, if the enemy is contesting the flag, nobody's going to get points, which means like if your team is like 2 points away from a bubble, 2 points away from a win, and somebody on the enemy team comes in with a bubble and puts it down and stands on the point, you won't get points towards the win. So I think that this has been an important change, because there's a lot of situations where you will have your teammate will go run on the flag, they'll be capturing it, but like you don't quite get it like captured, or you contest it and they're still gaining points. I think that this is just a better way to do it. Also, new capture zones will show up 20 seconds before, instead of just 15 seconds. They're also adding a new mode in Crucible Labs called Slow Capture Collision, and the reason I want to point this out is because this game mode actually looks really interesting. Slow Capture Collision, I'll read it verbatim here, is a twist on the existing collision game mode where the zones take much longer to capture, award a single point, and then rotates locations. The first team to capture 7 zones wins. Let us know what you think. This game mode seems really fun. So basically you capture a flag, and then once that zone is captured, it moves. So no longer do you have to cap it and hold it. Like, you just capture it and then it moves. And the first team to 7 caps wins. That sounds like kind of almost like a King of the Hill game mode. I like the idea of that. I could see some issues with it though, and we'll talk about the issues with that later. But they've also reorganized the playlist. Again, I don't want to like go into super detail with these, but the core game modes are still available, control, competitive, rumble, and private matches. However, they're changing some quick play stuff. They're having quick play and small team quick play, which will have a variety of different modes in them. And then for events like Iron Banner, stuff like that, Iron Banner is still going to replace, Iron Banner control is still going to replace control, but you'll also have an Iron Banner quick play rotator, which you can actually see down here, and it will tell you the name of the mode. So for this one, it's Eruption, and I believe it said that it changes like daily or something. I can't exactly remember. But also, super important change to Iron Banner specifically. It is going back to 1 week, 3 times an episode. Instead of happening for 2 weeks 2 times, it's going back to just 1 week long. So you got 1 week to get your stuff, but you also have 3 opportunities during the episode to get it. So yeah, kind of like that one. They're adding new playlists, the Iron Banner Quick Play Rotator. We kind of briefly touched on that. Lockdown, which is 4v4, Checkmate, Throwback, which is 4v4, and Hardware, Hardcore, 3v3. If you're interested in any of these, you know, Checkmate or Hardware, stuff like that, like they are making a comeback. Here we go. We've got some more Iron Banner and Crucible rewards. Iron Banner, starting off, we have Warlord's Spear. This is an arc adaptive trace rifle. Left column, it has dynamic sway reduction, envious assassin, rewind rounds, high impact reserves, hip fire grip, and loose change. In the right column, it has desperate measures, killing tally, target lock, 4 times the charm, and 2 redacted perks. So we'll see what those are, and of course Iron Banner origin trait. We're also getting Peace Bond back. Peace Bond is a stasis burst, adaptive burst sidearm. The left column has Rainfinder, Subsistence, Zen Moment, Headstone, Lone Wolf, Moving Target. In the right column, it has Headseeker, Desperado, Rhyme Stealer, Desperate Measures, Demolitionist, and Kill Clip. And of course, Iron Banner origin trait. In the Crucible, we're getting Joxer's Longsword, which is a Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. So finally, we're getting a Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle. And the rolls on this look really good. Sorry, in the left column, it has Closing Time, Demolitionist, Dragonfly, Killing Wind, Gut Shot Straight, Lone Wolf, Pugilist, Enlighten Action, Rewind Rounds, Repulsor Brace, Strategist, and Shoot to Loot. In the right column, it has Adrenaline Junkie, Desperado, Desperate Measures, Destabilizing Rounds, Withering Gaze, Head Seeker, High Impact Reserves, Under Pressure 1, Frost Swashbuckler, Redacted, and Zen Moment. It also has the Crucible and Nadir origin traits. Super excited for this weapon right here. It's the first ever, like I said, first ever Void Heavy Burst Pulse Rifle we've got. So that's exciting. Of course, they're changing some just general Crucible quality of life stuff. They've made some changes to paired, I think we talked about this earlier, but they've made some changes to the paired player lobby balancer so that it will fall back to the average lobby rank balancer less often when dealing with fire teams. For map weighing, they've reduced Vostok and Multiplex from average weight to below average weight. So in 6v6 game modes, we should be seeing Vostok and Multiplex less. They've also increased Burnout from average to above average weight. So we'll see Burnout more. In competitive, specifically the competitive playlist, they removed Citadel Clash and Multiplex Clash from rotation. So these were at very low weight. So now they're just going to be gone. So you're not going to get Citadel Clash. You're not going to get Multiplex Clash anymore. Which I think is a good thing because both of these maps were problematic in Clash. They've removed Radiant Cliffs Clash from rotation. This was previously at average weight, so now, again, it's going to be gone. I don't know why they did this one. Radiant Cliffs, I thought, was a pretty decent map. And they have increased the weight of Burnout Clash and Dead Cliffs Clash from above average to high weight to compensate. So we're going to be seeing more Burnouts and Dead Cliffs Clash variants, and we're not going to be seeing Citadel, Multiplex, or Radiant Cliffs Clash. Also, in Showdown, revives no longer subtract a point from the opposing team. I never played Showdown, so I don't care. But yeah, that's all the big updates. There's a ton of stuff coming. Like, you know, like I said, this was not a full comprehensive breakdown. This is just kind of briefly explaining what's going on. Now, my thoughts on all this stuff. First of all, the Trials rework has been much needed for like years now. Again, even Bungie themselves acknowledge that Trials of Osiris is not a game mode that people are playing and enjoying because it's not rewarding and it's not really fun, you know. So they're changing that to make it a little bit more rewarding. I think fun is subjective. Like, you know, you can say, oh, you know, it's fun for you. I don't personally find any 3v3 game mode fun. I think they're just too slow for my taste. But players might start seeing, hey, we get more rewards, and the rewards might make it feel a little bit more like, you know, getting in there. Plus, they're moving away from the, you know, you have to go flawless to get the rewards, to now it's, hey, just play the game. Play Trials of Osiris, stay in there, go on win streaks, play with the team, have fun, stuff like that, and you're going to be getting more rewards. So I think that's, you know, I think that's really important for Trials of Osiris. I'm really glad that they're doing that. Hopefully this will see an increase to the Trials population. I know for me personally, I'm definitely going to try Trials more, see if maybe it's more fun, especially with the changes that they're making to Dominion. Because again, one of the reasons why I don't play Trials is because Dominion is just not a fun game mode. It's way too passive, way too boring, and they're increasing it so it's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more confrontational. So I like those changes. In terms of the changes to oh yeah, of course the rewards, they all look pretty Trialsy. In terms of the changes to like the competitive stuff, and basically all just the inner working changes, you know, the skill stats, the rebalancing of stuff, Again, I like that they are doing this. Again, I think a lot of people get caught up in this notion that Bungie doesn't care about PvP. This shows me that they do still care about PvP. No, we're not getting new maps, which really, if they, Bungie, I'm just gonna say right now, if you really want to show the PvP community that you care about us, give us new maps. But they are making all these changes. Like, I mean, it got its whole blog, like a whole blog post dedicated just to Crucible stuff. So you can tell that Bungie still does care about the Crucible, and they still do care about, you know, how players feel about the Crucible. So they're making changes. I think that all these changes are really good. I mean, I don't have an issue. I have an issue with any of them. I think that it's all pretty good. I like the new weapons that we're getting. You know, obviously our second ever PR55 frame. Again, that's like the Battler, so it's got that like kind of scoped in, you know, ADS look and stuff to it, plus really good hip fire. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Let me know your thoughts on all these changes. If you've read through the blog post yourself and seen anything that maybe I didn't catch, let me know in the comments. And other than that, do me a favor, watch the videos you see on the end screen, like and subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye for now.